Welcome to Sorry If I Spit When I Speak.
Yeah.
We are continuing our great lineup of incredible guests.
Big show.
Yeah. Of course, I'm Dadio McDuke, and I'm joined by the great Dr. Hodgie, the electric Ismoji. And we have the
president of the Bengals.
The official Bengals reporter, Marisa Contipelli. I mean, she is not only... Yeah, very big. She does all the video production. She interviews the players. She does so much for the Bengals, and we love her for that. And we're going to bring her in right now.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are way too kind.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is so big for us.
No, thank you. I am so honored to be on here with you guys today. You two are the legends. Heck.
Well, we are. That's true. We are. Currently, I'm struggling with a hat, Marisa, but that's part of the territory. Thank you. I do too. Yeah, it's a tough thing. But Marisa, we are, as you know, we're both very supportive of powerful women. And you are in charge of the Cincinnati Bengals, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's her and Katie Blackburn, really. So I mean,
let's not start that rumor. Katie Blackburn is an incredible leader. I feel like we are so lucky to have her in Cincinnati and with the Bengals, and our ownership group is really top notch. So I know she's a great role model for all of the other women in sports like myself. So all the credit goes to her for all the great leadership that she's given.
Another powerful woman, Katie Blackburn. So what is it exactly that you do for the Bengals? Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So I am our team reporter and video producer for digital. So I'm sure like a lot of our fans have seen me. I'll be interviewing players along with shooting highlights at practices. I'll be at games. You'll see me as our in-game host during home games on the video board. So I get a really good chance to interact with fans, doing contests and promotions in that setting. And honestly, I'm just kind of a jack of all trades. I'll shoot, I'll write, I'll edit. So pretty much whatever the team needs and what our digital and social channels need, I can do. So a lot of video production and just getting a chance to chat with players and talk with players and bring in those stories and those features and the information that our fans want.
So I think it's safe to call you then the voice of the Cincinnati Bengals in a way.
I wouldn't say that, because I feel very strongly that Dan Ford is our voice of the Bengals, since he's our play-by-play announcer. So
it's fair to call you the voice box.
we can roll with that.
Marisa, so many of us dream about having your job, as you know. I mean, of course, when I was younger, I wanted to have a kettle corn stand, and then I wanted to deliver calzones to people's doors. And then I decided my dream was to be a Bengals team reporter. And then I saw you got the job, and I was like, wow. I mean, obviously.
So sorry.
I mean,
no, all of us are happy that didn't happen. You're doing a much better job than he could ever do. Trust me.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd say that. I'd like to see you in that role. Yeah. I feel like you can take a step up from what I do.
No, I don't know about that, but I mean, we do want to interview the players in person. You know, Carlos Dunlap, we've tried to arrange for him for some time. It just hasn't worked out with our schedules, but
he's a fan.
He's a big fan. I don't know if you know, he's a big fan of the show. Yeah. He loves the show. And so, Marisa, you are originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
I am. Yes, that is correct.
And you grew up a Browns fan, am I correct?
That is correct in saying. When you're from Cleveland, it's hard to not be a Browns fan growing up. But I have converted. I just want everyone to know.
Like Paul Brown.
And we have forgiven you for your sins.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like just like Paul Brown, she saw something better and moved on. I mean, it's just so great.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll say I'm still working on my family and friends up in the Cleveland area. So like slowly but surely they're starting to come around, especially as like we're heading in a really great direction right now. Burrow, and like all the excitement that's going into the season.
I was going to say, I mean, it must be pretty easy to get them on board now with Joe Burrow. I mean, it's exciting, right?
Oh, it absolutely has been. And I also went to Ohio State, so a lot of my family are big Buckeye fans too. And obviously us Buckeyes claim Joe Burrow as one of our own, since we did have him there for a few seasons. So I know my dad is stoked and so excited to see him just kind of take the field and see what he could do in a Bengals uniform.
Yeah, for sure. Marisa, you and Elizabeth Blackburn, if I'm correct, she has been the social media manager. I don't know if that's her official position, but she's been very. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So she joined on, and I believe she's our director of fan experience and engagement. I apologize, I don't know her official title, but she's joined on, and she's really helped our social channels grow tremendously. She has a lot of really great ideas, and I've been really excited to work with her for the past couple of months.
Now, Marisa, a serious question here. Is there a director of occult studies on the Bengals staff? Because I've long been promoting more work with horoscopes, divination, and tea leaf reading, magic in general, as well as alternative healing medicines. Is that happening on the Bengals nowadays or not?
I feel like you could have a pitch there that if maybe you wanted to try to apply to create your own position.
Yeah, I've been promoting myself as that for some time, and in fact, I've been saying if the Bengals go all vegan, you'll see great improvement in their performance.
Yeah, Marisa, I want to.
I'd be interested to see the stats behind that.
Yeah, I'll try to create.
Marisa, I actually, I'm the serious host here, and I actually, I just want to say how much we appreciate what you and Elizabeth have been doing. Before Elizabeth came, the social media videos were the Who Dey mascots, riding around and sitting at bus stops and tying his shoes or visiting retirement homes.
So I was still here when all that was happening. I wasn't that far removed.
Yeah. I think one of them, Who Dey, went to a funeral home. It was just very depressing. And then
it was a sad time.
It was a sad. That's true. It was reflective of where we were. But then, Elizabeth Blackburn comes along, and I mean, we got a SpongeBob SquarePants. We got the Jim Carrey. We got like fireworks coming out of a Pokemon. We got so many exciting things, and she is targeting the Generation Z, as it is called. And
we also have a TikTok account now too that we've been putting videos out on. So I love the direction that our social media has been going. It's been more of a fun and entertainment place, and we really have a great team on our social channels, and some of the videos that have been created, I mean, they just get me hyped just from watching. I mean,
that's what I wanted to ask. I mean, is the energy in the admin building and where you guys work, is it as high and as exciting as it is out here for us fans? Because we're really excited this year.
It absolutely is. No, it really has been. And it's been a little challenging because we're not back at the building full time. We're only allowed to have so many members of staff in the building. So our whole team actually hasn't been together since the beginning of March. I mean, we do video calls and have video chats. But I mean, and just from those chats and the direction that we took with the draft, we've all been so excited. And I know we're all chomping at the bit just to get the players back. We can be around them and have practices and really get to see this stuff take off. And I know we want the guys to be back around the facility so we can create even more exciting and better content for you, as we get closer and closer to the season starting.
And I know this might be, I hope this isn't probing too much, but can you tell us what's the foreseeable plan for practice for the season? Is there any talk about what's to come because of the whole COVID situation?
Right. So nothing is, we don't have any definite answers just yet. I know the NFL is still trying to work out solutions and answers to those questions because we're just one of 32 teams who are just longing to know the answers to when training camp will start, how preseason and the season will look. So as of right now, we simply don't know. And hopefully it won't be too much longer before we do start to get some of those answers and start to see things kind of take shape here over the next So.
Dadio, hold on, Dadio. Follow-up question. So the training camp schedule is something that across the board, the whole NFL is going to agree on, and then it's not a team-by-team decision basis. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Yeah, I would say that's fair to say that decision will come down from the NFL league office.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, I mean, we saw a video, I think a week ago, of Coach Zach Taylor, and he was covered from head to toe in gear, protecting him from all the diseases in out there. But the question is, how much is he able to get involved now? Because I know he's itching to get that playbook, to invent the play, to design the playbook around his brilliant quarterback, Joe Burrow.
Really, once in a decade. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, the good thing right now is that they've been having all of these Zoom virtual meetings and workouts, so to say. So I know in the conversations that I've gotten to do with Zach Taylor, like he's telling us that like Joe Burrow is really embracing this offense and putting everything he has into it right now. Zach shared that how he'll test Joe during some of like the offensive virtual meetings, and so you have all the guys on the screen, and that he'll test Joe about like what everyone's assignment is, and they'll kind of like go down the order and make sure that everyone is on the same page, knows the play in and out. So, I mean, I know that Zach, I'm sure, would love to have Joe in person and just get a chance to work like hands-on with Joe and a lot of the other new faces that are going to be on this Bengals team this is 2020 season. But you know, so far I'd say everything they're doing everything as best they can virtually, and that you know, Zach's as confident as he probably could be doing everything virtually and having to try to like teach a rookie quarterback the ropes and the playbook. But I mean, all signs show that Joe Burrow is the real deal so far, and I know all of us can't wait to actually see him in person throwing football.
That's great. Let me follow up on that, Marisa. So, other than the general sense of excitement, promotionally, what's changed about the Burrow coming in? Are there things that we got some super fans here? Throw us a little something here. What can we expect? Is there a new cool Burrow jersey, shirt, hat, something? Give us something exciting if you have it.
Well, I will plug that there are Burrow jerseys available in the Bengals Pro Shop. So fans, if you haven't gotten them, go get those Burrow jerseys because they are available. But no, even the interactions that I've gotten to talk with Joe Burrow, he's a natural leader. I mean, he's just someone that when you speak, you're going to listen to and buy into. And I think he just fits in perfectly with the culture that Zach Taylor is establishing here in Cincinnati. And I mean, you look at, they drafted, I believe, 6 out of the 7 rookies that they drafted this year were all former captains at one point in their college career. The free agents that they brought in all have that leadership and playoff experience. So there's certain type of attributes that Zach Taylor is going after as they're assembling this team. And Joe Burrow has every single one of them. So I don't think there's any kind of secret, hidden, story that we're all kind of like waiting to find out. It's just Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow.
Marisa, I'm really sorry. He's really into conspiracy theories and the occult, and so just.
I'm sorry, I don't have any of those for you today.
Yeah, but you mentioned Joe Burrow's personality, and you get to interact with them as people and know what they really like. Now, if you could give us some insider information on what the guy, like for instance, who's the cutest, cuddliest, player? A lot of people think it's going to be Giovanni Bernard or maybe Carlos Dunlap, who's a lot of fun. Maybe it's someone who surprised us, like Alex Redmond or Coach Jim Turner. I mean, who is the guy that you just were like, wow, he is a little teddy bear?
There was a very clear-cut individual that came to mind, and for me, it's Houday. I love Houday. I'm a cat person, a cat lady. You can see a picture of my cat right behind me. So I love Houday. Houday is my cuddly Bengals.
No offense, but I feel like you took the easy way out because he is already a stuffed animal. I mean, that is kind of easy.
Well, I mean, I think she just took the word cuddly very seriously. That
exactly.
That's true. That's fair. That was a good response.
And I like that. I like that you have a good relationship with your cat. It's important. These animals matter, and people aren't thinking about that, how important cats and things like that are. And the Cincinnati Bengals, we use that as a mascot, but it's good that you bring that into your life, the support of cats, cohabitation with a cat.
Oh, absolutely. And my cat, her name is Sansa. She's a calico, and she's our Bengals color. She's orange, black, and white. So how can you not love her? She's great.
Yeah. And I wanted to pick up, Dadio, and just remind you that there is a way we could have foreseen what Joe Burrow's personality would be, and it goes back to horoscopes. He's a Sagittarius.
Yeah, see where this is going? You see what happens, Marisa? Do you see? I tried to have a serious conversation. Marisa, okay, we are running out of time, so I want to tackle some questions that fans have submitted to us.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so first of all, everybody's asking us about the Ring of Honor. And we have the Dadio and Hodgie Hall of Fame, which surprisingly, a lot of Bengals actually made the list. Very few non-Bengals, and it's actually an objective, it's a very technical kind of system. Where me and Hodgie sit around, we drink tea, and we come up with names.
We wrestle at one point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference of opinion. Yeah, we really, we have a difference of opinion over AJ McCarron. I don't think he was around long enough, But Marisa, so the Ring of Honor, they say that Paul Brown said, for instance, one excuse is that Paul Brown said he likes the team focus and not the player focus. But we see the Bengals promoting their players for the Pro Bowl and things like that. So they do recognize individual honors, of course, team captains, all that kind of stuff. So for these guys that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but because of bias and maybe Pittsburgh Steelers voters haven't made it, how close are we to that Ring of Honor?
Well, I think the organization has done a great job of recognizing our legends over the years, because we have so many amazing Bengals legends that have worn the stripes back in the day. And it's something that we saw last year when we were celebrating the 100th anniversary of the NFL, and we had the Fantennial celebrations, and that was so much fun to have all of those guys. That was my first chance to really meet a lot of those legends in person. And I know one of my favorites during that weekend was Ken Riley, and it's so unfortunate that he passed recently and didn't get that chance to have that Hall of Fame recognition that he so much deserves. But our organization, I mean, we wouldn't be where we are today without our legends. And so when the Bengals were celebrating their 50th anniversary, they did a great job then to just recognizing and celebrating just how much history is here in Cincinnati. And so I know that each year, as different teams and different players take the field, there's going to be more legends down the road that are going to cement their place in Bengals history with fans. And so I love when we do get a chance to celebrate and recognize each of those individual players. And I really hope more do join Anthony Munoz in Canton, because there are so many others that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Ken Riley and Ken Anderson should absolutely be the next two in there.
Well, I mean, in lieu of that, maybe we could have an official recognition for the Dadio and Hodgie Hall of Fame.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. We should make a pitch for that.
You can make a separate part of the website for our, our Hall of Fame, our videos. You can do all that. I noticed you upload videos from other channels like the NFL Network to the Bengals. Yeah. I haven't seen many of our videos. And I just want to say we are okay in terms of copyright. We will not come after you.
No, we won't sue you too hard.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I bring that up in our next content meeting and bring that attention to my boss.
Thank you.
And see where that goes.
Thank you. On the topic of legacy, I think one of the main things that the Bengals organization has going for it is, I've long said, the greatest darn uniforms in the NFL. Beautiful. You love cats. It's representative. It's an homage, so to speak, to the great Bengal tiger. Is there any talk of updating, changing, or somehow moving in a different direction with the uniform?
I know so many fans are constantly asking about new and different uniforms, but it's just going to kind of have to wait and see. We have not heard about any changes for this season, so I'm sure at some point down the road it's going to happen, just because you get into a different type of cycle with different uniforms.
Would you take a suggestion?
I'm sorry?
I have a suggestion if you would take it to the office.
Oh, yes. What is your suggestion?
Have you seen the movie Cats?
I actually have not.
Okay, so if you see a live production of Cats or you see the movie Cats, I think we should push the whole Bengal feline element a little bit further. And I'm talking like some face paint for the players, a little meow meow, some whiskers, because get into it a little more. I feel like we're being a little bit too conservative with taking the totem, so to speak.
So I don't know, TV show wise, if you guys are fans of The Office, but that's one of my favorite TV shows. And now all I'm picturing is Andy Bernard dressed up as Halloween when he came dressed up in a full body Cats outfit. And I could get on board possibly with that suggestion. So I'll make sure to bring that up next time.
Yeah. And another question that fans are always asking, and Hodgie, I'm always asking, indoor practice facility. Any talk of it? Any interest in moving in that direction of getting an indoor? We're the only team in the AFC North that doesn't have an indoor practice facility, and it seems to be an issue for some of the players. I don't want to get you embroiled in controversy, by the way, but I don't think it's
I know you guys you're asking the hard-hitting questions today, but no, I completely understand. This is another topic that our fans are constantly intrigued by. And, as of right now, I do not have any inside knowledge in terms of if the team is moving in one direction or not. But I will say it is so nice to have our practice facility so close to the stadium, and everything is just right here in the one block radius, or however large it is down there by the banks. But it's so convenient and so nice, because I mean, you see other teams where, like I know in Cleveland, for instance, the stadium and where the Browns practice facility are, I think it's like 25 miles or 20 miles. So they're not really close. Like, you have to travel a pretty significant distance. So I love how close everything is for us down here. I feel like it's just so much more convenient for the players, the training, equipment, staff, that everything's kind of just housed here in one facility.
I got to say, your positive energy really rubs off on me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This guy is such a negative nanny, negative nagoat or whatever. But you're so positive. I think we should have Marisa on the show more often. Very positive.
Yeah, and Marisa,
I would love to join again. You guys are great.
Positive energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have to be positive, especially in a time right now. I mean, you have to be positive, because I feel like that does rub off on other people. And like, why be negative when you can try to like be positive and do the right things, and just have a good outlook on whatever situation that you might be in.
Yeah. I have a question, Dadio, but I'll let you go if you want.
Real quick, Marisa. So Bengals kind of went crazy in free agency. Like, it was like
awesome.
Yeah,
it was really great.
Yeah. And obviously, a lot of the signings, we totally understood the money. Like DJ Reader, a lot of them were bargain valued signings. We loved Mackenzie Alexander.
Wow.
All these different guys, right? Josh Bynes, great value. The one guy that Bengals fans have questions about, why the team gave him the kind of money they did, and I'm sure they saw something that we are not seeing, is Trey Waynes. So what is it that they really saw? Because they paid him top corner money, and they let Drake Kirkpatrick go. So they knew that he is a top corner.
And Marisa, if you want me to help you answer that, I can.
Honestly, I'd kind of love to get your take on this first before I take over.
We can go at the same time. It would be kind of crazy.
Both of us just talk at once.
What if we talked at once and said the exact same thing? 1, 2, 3, or no? Should I go first? I think it's consistency, Dadio. I think it's consistency. He's a very consistent player, and you go with consistency, and you go with what's available on the market. And obviously, there's a vision for the defense that he works into. People are always looking for some sort of amazing thing, but you have, when you know what you're getting, that's a good thing. Marisa,
I think that's a really good answer. And I honestly agree with you. I mean, his numbers speak for itself when he was with the Vikings, and obviously there's a lot of new faces in the secondary. So the coaching staff wanted to kind of shake up that position a little bit and bring in guys who are strong tacklers as well. I know that got really a point of emphasis in kind of retooling the defense for this year. And so I'm not surprised that they spent the money they did on Trey Waynes. I'm really excited to see what he will do in the defensive scheme that Lou Anarumo is planning for this season. So everything that I've heard about Trey is really positive and really great. Because of COVID-19, I haven't gotten the chance to meet him or the other free agents yet in person. So I'm really excited for the day that will happen, that we get them in the building and you can kind of get to know them a little bit better, because there's, as I mentioned earlier, there's a certain type of culture and certain type of player that Zach Taylor and the staff wanted to bring into Cincinnati, and they're all fitting in certain ways. And so I think his track record speaks for itself. His personality and his demeanor and what he is going to bring to the table is just, exactly what Zach Taylor, Lou Anarumo, and this defensive staff are trying to create and install, because there's a lot of turnover on the defensive this year, and obviously he fits in for a specific reason.
That's great. But like a kid who you buy them treats, we have gotten a little spoiled with the spending that the Brown family, the Blackburn family have done. And so a lot of fans are saying, hey, let's go get Larry Warford too. So I know they were talking about it. So what is that? What's going on there?
You're bringing new information to me. I have not heard that the team is going to be going after Larry Warford. I know that where things stand right now, I would be surprised if we brought in any other free agent signings. I feel like Zach and this team is very comfortable with where they're standing right now and where things are going. So, I mean, obviously he's a great player. It was surprising to see the Saints just cut ties with him. But there also could be a reason that he hasn't been signed. And I mean, I think that kind of speaks volumes too. So from where I'm at, I feel like the Bengals are done in terms of bringing in any additional players, and that they're going to be moving forward with the team that they have.
And can I just follow up on that? Because I get that, I have gotten that vibe of we're done, out as well. And I think it makes a lot of sense to the fans considering how stacked their team is, except when it comes to the O-line. I think we're all wondering what the plan is there. It's not that the O-line has
Can I answer that, Marisa?
Why are we answering? Don't mansplain, man.
You just did that. You just mansplained. Yeah, go ahead, Marisa. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I just want to say I completely understand fans' frustrations, because last year we had a ridiculous amount of different offensive line combinations, but this coaching staff really likes the direction that the offensive line is heading. I mean, you're getting Jonah Williams back at left tackle, so you're really getting 2 first-round draft picks. When you're looking at Joe Burrow and Jonah Williams to this offense, and like, how can you not be excited about seeing Jonah Williams protecting Joe Burrow's blind side? So just having him right there it's going to be a big upgrade. And then you go over to left guard, and I feel like Michael Jordan really took big strides last year. A 4th-round draft pick. He started some games, sat out a couple of games, and then when he really kind of got back in there towards the end of the year, he seemed to kind of be turning a corner. And I know that this offensive coaching staff likes the steps that he's taken, the progress that he's made. So you look at him at left guard, and then I feel like Trey Hopkins in the center really did a nice job solidifying that role last year. And they signed him to a 3-year deal for a reason, because he's really was that anchor of that offensive line last year. He was one of the best guys out there.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at the right side, and they brought in Xavier Su'a-Filo, who expects to be in there at right guard. And then right tackle, I'm hearing that it's going to be a competition between Bobby Hart and Fred Johnson, who we got to see, signs of last year. He played left tackle towards the end of the season, and he was a guy that was on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster, and then they had let him go. And then I know the Bengals were so excited to bring him in as a rookie because they saw a lot of promise in him. And so, I don't think our offensive line is in that bad of shape. And then you add in some other role players. You have Billy Price, who was a 1st-round draft pick. You expect him to be in there competing for a spot, whether it be right guard, whether it be left guard, because he did play guard when he was at Ohio State. And so, I feel like the offensive line is going to be much improved than it was from a year ago. And that, I personally don't think it's going to be a glaring weakness like all of our fans are assuming it's going to be, just because of those upgrades that we're having with Jonah Williams and Xavier Su'a-Filo and Michael Jordan now going into a 2nd year. So I feel like there's a lot of promise, and the offensive line is definitely headed in the right direction.
Oh, I completely agree, Marisa. I completely agree. I know we're almost out of time. My last question, if you have the time. Is it okay? One last question.
Oh, of course I have time for you guys.
Thank you. So, Marisa, we're not going to bring in new players. No. But we have 2 very important players that fans want to see here long time. I'm talking about AJ Green and Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. I know they're saying, we got to work it out, with AJ Green, the years and the money and all that kind of stuff. It's very complicated. We got to see if he comes back healthy, how he looks, all that kind of stuff. Here's my thing, okay? Like the Bengals, it's like imagining the Bengals in a different city, not having AJ Green. I mean, he is the Bengals to me. He is the franchise. That guy, I mean, if you look at what he does to the team, the way he elevates the team, and you have a young quarterback coming in, he's going to have that safety net. He's going to have that guy bail him out as the other young receivers are developing. And I love the young receivers. They're brilliant. But you have a Hall of Fame type player in AJ Green, who, when he's on the field, I mean, he's the best. He's absolutely
and Marisa, I'll add to that. There's consensus on this show that AJ Green is one of the top 2 wide receivers in the NFL, and I would argue the number 1.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, and I echo what all fans want. Is I really hope AJ Green remains a Bengal for life, because He's so talented, and he's such a game changer when he's out there. I mean, you have AJ Green on the field. It's just he's an immediate threat whether he's thrown the ball or not. So, I mean, I really hope. I mean, they have until July 15th to get a long-term deal done. If it doesn't happen by then, they'll have to wait until the season is over. And so, coronavirus is making everything so much harder because you can't see him in person, and you don't know like what his health is going to be. I mean, all signs are pointing to his ankle and his foot being 100%, but until you can actually see him in person, running routes, connecting with Joe Burrow on deep passes, it's hard to tell. And so, I mean, I don't fault anyone for thinking that you have to wait until you can actually be with him in person before you make that kind of decision. Right. But I mean, I really hope that AJ remains a Bengal, and same goes for Joe Mixon. I think Joe is one of if not the top running back in the AFC league. He is one of a kind. I mean, you see what he does after contact and just scrapping for those yards. And he is so talented. So I'm also hoping that we can get a long-term deal done with him.
Yeah, and with his ability in the passing game. You imagine with Mixon, his value is going to increase so much.
You know, and I know
I would love to see them get Mixon involved even more so in the passing game. So I feel like they kind of split that with him and Gio Bernard last year.
I mean, that's another thing. Gio, we gave him the contract, but we didn't really utilize him the way we should. I think with Burrow, I think everybody is going to be getting their touches and getting the opportunities in the space and all that. So with AJ, you know, we do hope is he the follow-up question, is he changing the way and anything in his preparation or his training or how he, let's say, explodes off the ball maybe with the big toe? Or I know some people are worried about maybe his technique or anything to prevent that toe turf injury happening again.
Well, I guess that's not something you're going to really know until we get to see him out of practices whenever that time arrives. And so, I mean, I this is just my pure speculation. I don't believe that he's changing any type of that approach, just because, you know, once an injury is fully healed, you kind of go back into your natural, you know, just kind of that instinct kind of takes over. And so, you know, I have to imagine that AJ's being AJ, and he's going to do what he always has done on the football field until I see otherwise. That's the way I'm going with, because his track record is just absolutely incredible. I mean, you watch highlights, you watch the tape when he's out there, and it's just, you just kind of sit there and you're like mesmerized sometimes when you're watching AJ, because it's like, wait, how did he do that? He actually came down with that catch. And so I can't wait to get a chance to see that once training camp and preseason and the season gets underway.
Marisa, if I were as good at anything as AJ is at receiving in football, I would not be on this show. I would have a real job and I'd be incredibly wealthy. I am incredibly wealthy, but that's because of my history as a rock and roll legend. But
I just got to say, Marisa, I mean, do we have time for another couple of minutes, or how much?
No, I think we're up. We're at 30.
Are we up, Marisa?
Yeah, we're up.
I can do a couple more minutes with you guys.
Okay. Did you have a question, Hodgie? I have a final question. The real final, serious.
Okay, I was just going to say, I wonder if AJ would let me try some homeopathic medicine.
Here we go.
I have two ideas. Have you ever...
He's going to end his career, Marisa. Keep him away from this guy.
Have you ever had a Brazilian massage with rosemary oil?
Do you see?
And
do you see what happens?
I can give him one. I'll come down to the center and I will charge very little, $30,000. Keep him away from this guy, but also please bring him on our show. And any Bengals players that you talk to, please bring him on the show. But Marisa, we are so grateful that the Bengals brought you in a couple years ago. Improving their content, and we likewise have been improving our content. That's how we have advanced to this form that you see now. And we are getting patrons left and right. You know, people are being patronizing toward us all the time. And we have recently we got 3 new patrons. One of them giving us $20 a month, and we also have people can now join as membership. He's about to ask you for money, Marisa.
yeah. So if you, or the Bengals players, I'm sure they love to support the show. And so there is, if people don't want to spend the Patreon money, they can go to the membership and get a discount. Instead of $1, it's 99 cents. Instead of $10, at $9.99. So 1 cent discount for each tier. We have different tiers, all the way up to the Ken Anderson tier for the legends,
the highest tier. Joe Burrow's beneath that. It's great tiers.
Yeah. So that is the way we are trying to improve our content, and we really appreciate the work that you're doing for the Bengals as well. And
thank you. Like I said, we have a great team, a lot of hardworking individuals that we want to put out the content that the fans are seeking, and that, just brings the fun, the entertainment, and the information side to everything. So I've had a great 2 years so far. I'm going into my third season, and I love just seeing where we've progressed from when I joined on in 2018 to now where we're going in 2020. So it's a lot of fun. Some days I have to pinch myself that this is actually my job.
Can I pinch all of us with just one final word of advice? As an animal lover from me to you, Marisa, as a cat lover from me to you, let's leave off the white Bengal attire. The white Bengal tiger is an anemic cat. It is sick and it is dying. It is not a healthy animal, and they are bred because people think they look cool.
But it was appropriate when we were losing. Now that we have Burrow, it doesn't.
Let's keep the healthy orange.
See, I'm going to disagree with you because our color rush jerseys are the white and black, and they're one of my favorite jerseys. So I think the white should stay.
Well, I'll let you win if you promise to be on the show.
Yeah, she was on our show, so she wins. But thank you. And you mentioned the fans. We all hope that the fans can be in the seats and the games can actually happen. So I that is a concern for a lot of people. But yeah. Do you know anything about that?
Are the fans going to come?
I hope so. It kind of goes back to what you guys were asking me earlier. Is we just don't have those answers yet, and I know the NFL is working hard to figure out what the plan of attack is going to be, and so hopefully we find out sometime soon, as we start preparing, and camp is going to be right around the corner. So
what about like a vaccine? Is that close to being ready? Do you have that kind of information?
I think you should ask the doctor. I don't have doctor in front of my name.
I just thought you know everything. Okay,
vaccines in the works.
Well, we are going to let Marisa go. What a pleasure! What a wonderful person, and what a knowledgeable football fan. Been a football fan for her whole life. She is very knowledgeable.
I mean, what a story from Browns fan. To the voice box of
rags to riches. Rags to riches.
Voice box. Yeah.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on. This was so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell Mike Brown we said hi. We're gonna have pizza at this place hopefully one day.
All right. So for Dr. Hodgie, the Electric Smoji, I'm Dadio McDuke, and we will see you next time. So long, SVT. Bye.